GZO.
What's up with you,
Welcome
bro?
to the show, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. Wait, do you have a name for the show yet?
It's called Everything in Between.
Everything
Yeah.
in between.
So it's like a shortened art and everything in between because, the goal of this podcast is for me to like just chat with artists, particularly like people who are doing creative stuff, but also eventually I kind of just want to branch out into anything. So that's why I'm like everything in between.
Yeah.
It's just literally anything, so. Dude, like I said, I have so many questions for you, but I'm going to try to like start. I have like a structure to this, but I'm just going to dive in, man. So let's start with okay, I wrote, you're one of the first artists that I ever connected with. You're the first, I think person I met that was like doing it really seriously in the Fort Worth scene. So do you remember how we first met and like what that interaction was like with our because we have some history.
Yeah.
So
The very first time, remind me, let me know if I'm right. I know I had heard about you from Pretty Dim from T.
Yes.
Right? Y'all worked together.
Yes.
And I would see your stuff, so I'm pretty sure we followed each other. I'm trying to remember the first interaction. Do you remember what it was? The first ever time we saw each other in person? Because I know we were talking on socials first.
I think I actually do. I think you were doing a shoot at Sinclair. You were shooting content at Sinclair. I think the first time I met you in person.
It was.
But it was T who told me about you originally. He was
let us go up to the top.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I remember you coming through because I recognized you because I had followed you after Tristan told me about you. And I was like, I think I was immediately a fan, dude. Like I saw your content and stuff and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's legit. This is dope. And then, I remember seeing you, shooting content. So that's the first thing I wanted to touch on with you too. Tell me about, because your journey with music has been, I'm sure, so broad and there's so many stories, but I want to start, what was going on in your life during that period? What were your priorities during that time? Where were you at as far as music goes?
I want to say during that time, to backtrack a little bit, when I met T whenever I was first living down here, and I moved to Arizona to go to school. I went to Crass, like a recording art school, and T ended up coming down there to live with me. So I go through that whole year, and then we both decided to come back. And I want to say during that time, we had just came back here. We were probably a couple months into just being back here, and that's whenever we first started doing content. Before that, we weren't really doing content like that. It's not like it is now. So we were just starting. So that's the time I met you, we were going up to shoot at that hotel, and they're just getting into content. I think I was just dropping singles, and at that time I was mainly only working with T as far as producers. So, that's really. I was also just starting to try to do shows, and getting more confident and stuff like that. So, yeah, bro, I think I was just trying to put out music and also put out content.
Were you pretty confident even during that time with performing and stuff, or was it kind of a muscle you were still developing back then?
Definitely a muscle, bro. I mean, I had done shows. Do you think it'll turn back on?
I don't know. Not if we're not waving our hands.
No, that's cool.
Honestly, it's fine.
It's kind of
cool.
Yeah. No, I had
raw in the moment, guys.
So I've done shows. Let's see, bro, I've been making music. What's funny? This is crazy. One thing we had in common is we were both Logic fans.
Yes.
I was a super big Logic fan. Not as much now, I gotta be honest. But I was a Logic fan whenever he was dropping Under Pressure. So I went to, and before that, but I went to Under Pressure tour, and honestly, that's the night, because I had been making music before that. But that night that I saw him, I knew I was gonna do music. I knew for sure. So wait, what'd you ask me?
I was saying, as far as your confidence on stage,
Okay, yeah. So I guess I was just going where I was going with that was I was doing shows before. I'd done a couple shows in my hometown and stuff, but definitely was not the show we did together at the record store.
Yeah.
I was not confident. I was not
That's
definitely
crazy.
not where I'm at now.
I had no idea, because I think for me at that time, I was so anybody that I worked with at all, I was already just enthralled by that. I was a part of the experience. But definitely, I think just because I was a fan of your stuff immediately, that I was oh my gosh, like this dude is so legit. Like I just thought you were so dope. And so, you know, I didn't get that aura at all. Like I thought you knew what you were doing. Like,
Dude, I think
so it's funny to know that.
bro, I think one thing about you is like, because I struggle with my confidence. I did for a long time when it came to music. I think one thing I admired about you is you were confident from the rip. Like, even if you maybe not, like you weren't, it seemed like it. You gave off, and you didn't ever make any bones about who you were. Like, you didn't try to be. I think that's where your confidence came from, because you're very authentic. Like, you didn't try to be. All your music is just real, and it's, you know, that's kind of rare. A lot of people are putting on a persona.
Thank you.
Like, truthfully.
Yeah. Well, and it's true. I was confident back then, which is so weird because now I'm so the opposite.
So much better, too.
I'm the opposite now, though. When it comes to
but it's crazy because you've gotten so much better, bro.
Well, thank you.
Well, confidence, I think it's like, I always tell people, I think it's it comes in stages. So like when you, like this music, it's like you pass a new level and then you're just at the bottom of that level again. So like you pass like to where it's like, I want to make music. Then you start to make music and you're like, okay, I do this. Then it's like, I want to make good music. And now you're like starting at the bottom, trying to make good music. Then whenever you're at the place where I'm making good music, now it's like, okay, I want to make good music that other people can enjoy. Then you're at the bottom again. And so I think the confidence like rises and then, you know, it's just like stepping up like this ladder.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, I definitely had a large amount of, I think also I was just so, like you said, I knew who I was back then. I think my identity was so rooted in the motivating people and the sort of thing that, and then just me taking a break really threw me for a loop. I mean, you knew me, like I was a hustler, bro. It was like I was made, my whole personality was music. And so even though that was a good thing from a work standpoint, I really didn't have a life. Like it was just only, that was my whole personality, you know? So I think I learned to slow down too and like do a little bit of living, which was important for me. And I think I get inspired too, because I think that like watching the way that like you and North and T and like all that, you know, your whole kind of like group was moving was like, y'all seemed a lot more present and a lot more like, you know, like I was like 10 years in the future, you know, I was like trying to predict and control everything. Yeah. Whereas I felt like y'all were just vibing, making music and just loving it, existing in it, you know, living. And so I think that in this weird way, like there were maybe parts of like what I was doing that, you know, like I said, that you might have looked up to, and then vice versa. Like I was like, oh, this guy seems so present, and like, you know, I need to learn to chill sometimes, because that was the other thing. I would get on stage and go way too hype sometimes, and I think now we're finding that balance, you know.
And you know, I'm still learning about being present. Like I always look forward to what I want to do, and I'm always looking to the future. Yeah. But I think, you know, the journey. And like, bro, when I think about the artists I love that I got to see come up from afar, it's like the journey is what attaches you to them. Yeah. So like, if you're not present in the moment, you're almost robbing your fans of that journey and being with you. And that's why, you know, like you got to be transparent about where you're at. I like to be, at least to build a real fan base. I feel like you got to be transparent with where you're at and the things you're going through, and also just live in the moment. Like, you know, you're going to get to there, but you got to do this to get there a lot of the times. That's why the record store, like that show was so important. And like I did a show at the vintage store. Like I had to do those shows and do like the house shows before I could go to Ruins and do Ruins, and then where I could do a live band performance. Like it's like I couldn't just start with the live band. I couldn't just start with Ruins. I had to do the other shows to get there. Yeah.
There's levels to it, like building confidence. And like, you know, if somebody came up to me today and like offered me like a stadium level show, it'd be like amazing, but it like I'm not ready for that. Right. Like I'd be like, oh my God, I gotta scramble like hell to prepare for this. Like, you know, just doing this, just the work that goes into prepping shows like going to Ruins and stuff. Like, and obviously I got to be a part of you prepping with the live band show, like seeing how much work goes into that and how much time, like just into that show, you know what I mean? And that's just a smaller venue. So like imagine the work of doing, you know, going on tour and doing those things. That's like,
it's levels,
you know, for sure.
I forget we did Tulips together too.
We did, yeah. That's a cool one I want to touch on too. But I want to dive into your history a little bit too, because
let's do it.
So let's talk about, you grew up in New Mexico.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, I want to know, I guess, when you came here, but also like your upbringing there, you know, how did that shape your worldview and in regards to just life, but also your music?
Yeah, I think, so I think the fact that I'm from a small town, bro, of like 60,000 people where nobody does music. I mean, now they do because people are starting to do music everywhere. But, bro, when I
What
was
city is it?
Clovis,
Clovis. Okay,
New
yeah.
Mexico. Now, look, bro, I think I played basketball. Like my family was super heavy into basketball growing up. So, first of all, like with basketball, I learned discipline and I learned how to like have that competitive edge, and I knew what it was like to work hard. But being from a small town, I think I learned how to have empathy for people, and you know, it made me look at, I guess, just that small town mindset, like having empathy for people. So I think the way it went into my music is now I love making music about relationships, like, and not just girls and like not just like friendships and also things I'm not involved with, but what I see like relationships. I think that's my favorite thing about my music is it's all, I think it's, you know, relatable things that everyone goes through, but it's my twist on it. It may not be the same, but I think that's how it shaped it.
Yeah.
Being from a small town, it's a different, like, but you know, that hindered me in a lot of ways too coming up here because my networking, I'm still learning how to network, bro. Like, and then I don't, you know, I have a hard time with just being friends with people for like, or not, like to be acquaintances with people just for what they could do for me. You know, I'm not good at that. Like, I really, it's hard for me to like, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally. Yeah. Completely.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because you're real. You actually care.
Yeah, so I can't just like be fake friends with people. Not that it's just like this networking thing. Like, I don't know. I'm still learning how to do it in an authentic way. And like, I'm not gonna be like, damn, I'm a fan of yours if I'm not a fan of yours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's
So,
real.
And yeah. So
Yeah. So what about like your family as far as music goes? I mean, how old were you when you came here?
I was 22. I want to say.
And did you move? Did your family move here too?
No,
with you? Or you just
me,
came
bro.
here?
I moved up here
Was
with
it for school or
no, bro. I moved up here with a friend. He had moved up here, and he was working at a dealership, but he wanted to start a business, and he asked me to come up here and help him with the business, and it was just like us three. Now, like when it comes to my family, bro, my dad instilled music in me early.
Okay.
I would only see my dad. My dad lived in North Carolina. I lived in New Mexico.
Okay.
I would see my dad once or twice a year. This was like 1 or 2 months in the summer, and then about half a month in Christmas.
Yeah.
And my dad instilled music in me from the youngest age. Like I'm talking about, he was every time we went up there, he'd burn a CD for us of our favorite artists. Like we'd do it. He'd show us how to do it on LimeWire. Like my dad made beats when I was younger. Like that's where I really, and then like my mom too, she put me onto a lot of older music. Like she was a big fan of Bones, Thugs and Harmony. She was a big fan of Tupac. I mean Usher.
Yeah.
All these yeah, bro. So I was lucky, but I'd say my mom and dad really put me onto music.
Yeah.
But really my dad though, like he instilled it in me from young. I think I wrote my first rap at like I was young, bro. Before I even wanted to be a rapper, like I wrote my first rap, and I would be in the mirror, like "Get Rich or Die Trying" was like one of the first albums I bought. Like, yeah. So
that's legendary. So now, how do they view what you do now?
my mom, I think they love it. My mom is super, like she tries to come to every show.
Yeah, I've met your mom,
bro.
once.
Yeah, my mom, like, you know, if I kill somebody, she tried to help me hide the body. Like she's really loyal. She loves me, bro.
Yeah.
And you know, she's a single mom. It's just me and my brother. So for a long time, I think her identity was being our mother. So we're her whole pride and joy. So it's funny. I think after I got older, I kind of have taught her some things about doing her own thing. Like it's a time where this is her time. Like,
totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So
100%. I relate to that with watching my parents. I think my parents are the same way. My mom had 7 boys. So literally, yeah, she didn't have any room to live her own life at all. And just now, like most of us are adults now, so like she's got just the littlest 2 now at home, and is like finally beginning to like be able to. Oh, let me figure out what I want to do now. Like,
dude, I don't remember as a kid. I honestly look back and like I don't remember my mom buying herself anything. Like, I don't remember her doing, like she was in school full time. So, and she was a teacher. So she would teach all day and go to college at night. And this was while we were growing up. So this was years on end that she did that. Like she was on that grind. Like, bro, she's different for sure. Like moms are very my mom's one of them ones, bro. Anyone that knows my mom knows, like, she's a very hard worker. And she like, one thing about my mom is if she says she's going to do something, you can count on it being done.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. Let's see what else I got, man. So much stuff. So let's talk about your faith. Are you comfortable talking about your faith publicly? I don't know because
I
you know,
will
like,
a little bit.
I ask only because, you know, like I don't want you to feel like you have to like be any type of way or anything. I think that you know, so
I will briefly, and I'll say I mean, what do you want to like? What do you want to know?
My question is, I guess I would love to know, like, because we haven't really gotten to talk about it, I think, directly, but like, it seems like there was a more recent shift for you. Would you say that? Yes?
For sure.
And I guess my question was, what caused that? What was that encounter? And how has that impacted the way that you view what you're doing with music today?
You know, I still, like, to be honest, I'm still going through it, and I struggle with it every day. Like, this is not something, you know, but after the incident that happened last year, I think, you know, before that, I grew up having faith, I would say. But when you're an adult, you have to kind of, it's like you let it go, and then you have to find it again as an adult. So I think it started with me searching for truth, like being a truth seeker. And that's like through like Christian apologists. I learned about Islam. I learned about Buddhism, just like YouTube, talking to people. So that's really where it came from. And then just life-altering events forced me to like look at what I truly believed and what I, you know, a lot of the times when you find God when you're at rock bottom.
Yeah.
Sadly, you know, that's just what it is. For me, at least. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. But I always knew God. But I think that, you know, when I didn't have faith in anybody or even myself, I, like, started. You know, that's where my faith in God started. And truthfully, up to this point, like now, bro, I think I'm gaining a deeper understanding of faith from my point of view. And I think really it has given me more confidence. And it's taught me to have faith in myself. Yeah. And, you know, and that's not because it's not to idolize myself or idolize any other artist or whatever it may be. But, you know, I feel like I got myself through the hardest times of my life by myself. And like, so it made me more confident in that sense. But, you know, faith is something that I'm struggling with every day. And I really try not to push it onto anybody or even, I even said, like, I'm not even going to talk about it publicly anymore. But, like, this is fine, you know?
Yeah. But that's what I like about it. Like, I've noticed, like, it's evident that you have faith, but it's not thrown in your face. And in fact, you watching, like, how you move honestly inspires me a lot from a faith standpoint, because I think similar to you, I walk this very wavy, you know, experience of my relationship with Christ. And so it's always like this. And I think, more recently, similar to you, I've been going through this like realization that, like, you know, it's almost like I see it as like I'm down here and like all of this journey is like right above me. And it's like for so long I thought this was me, but it was actually me here. I'm the observer of my journey. Wow, and that gave me a sense of peace, because I realized, like, because what happened, I would overthink so much, man. Like, you know, like what if I stray too far from the Lord on this day? And what if I die on this day or something like that? You know what I mean? But then this next Thursday, I'm super religious. Like, which one is me? Which one is me? You know? Yeah. And so, but the identity of like, no, actually, I've been here the whole time. And I definitely think for me, I definitely had an encounter where, like you said, I had let it go and then it came back in an obvious way. But more recently, like, you know, I really have had to just decide for myself, like, what does Harlan believe in? You know, what do I stand for? And now I'm kind of chilling down here, and it's like way more peace because I'm trusting, like, oh, you know, he's already got me. Like, I'm chilling, you know, as long as I don't go too far. There is a line, you know, for sure, but I'm nowhere close to that line.
No, bro. And
I'm just hard on myself.
The way I see it, bro, is, you know, and we ain't even got to stay on this too long, but I think God, whatever you believe in. For me, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ and like a higher power, right? So for me, I think the higher power sees what is inside.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me to try to, that's honestly why I stray away from talking about it publicly, because it comes with a lot of judgment. And like a lot of times people make you, a lot of times, like I tell people, like God isn't making you feel temptation or bad. It's other people that are doing that. And they're portraying their lack of faith or their insecurities onto you. And like,
Dang,
you know,
that's fire.
faith's going to
That's a bar.
look different for me and you. Like,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
because we're starting from different places. You know,
Yes.
if I was like living the type of lifestyle where I was going out all the time, strip clubs, women, drinking, drugs, and then I like slow down on that, you may see where I'm at now and be like, man, you're not really lit. But it's like, bro, if you saw where I came from, you'd see how far I went. Whereas somebody else might not be starting from that point. They may be just starting from a different place where, you know, it may look like something, but you don't know where they came from. Does that make sense? You don't know their journey. So
100%.
I think that's what I had to realize, bro. I stopped listening to people.
Yeah. That's real.
And just trust myself, bro. Started seeking out the knowledge myself.
That's fire. So let's talk about. I want to talk about your work ethic a little bit too, because it's something that really inspires me. And I guess I've got a few things. Hold on, let me look here. So, let's see. I'm curious to know a couple things. Number one, what to you does a productive day look like in terms of music? Like,
I can't believe you asked this. I was thinking about this on the way here. For me, bro,
not just with music, but with like where you're like, I'm satisfied with everything that happened today.
Yeah, bro,
what
it ties
what
together.
has to happen?
I think for the music, for me, bro, it ends with music, but it starts with drinking water. It's the simplest things, bro. I'm gonna tell you, it's the simplest things. I really thought about this on the way here. Drinking a lot of water. It comes with having good meals, having a good breakfast, getting a good workout in. And then, you know, I try to call my grandma or try to call my mom or a friend like once a day, like just sometime. And if literally those things, if I take care of those things, then that will make the music process so easy. Yeah. And I, you know, do all those things, make some music, and ideally make some money, you know, day to day, like whatever you can do. I think that's what a successful day like looks like for me. It's so simple, but like that takes a lot of your time, bro. You like having good meals, making sure you're drinking water, you know, make some music, talk to someone in your family, and get a workout in, bro. Yeah, for real. It's so simple. I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah. And in what ways do you feel like you have leverage now in your music career that you didn't maybe when you first started? What knowledge, what wisdom, like what would you pass down to that version of yourself at the beginning?
I think it's what you hear from everybody, but it's all about the journey. It's not about it's about the journey. It's not about the destination. And bro, it's also making your life easier. Like I've always made music. I've never had to be that artist that has to go pay for studio time.
Yeah.
I make music at the crib. I live with my best friend Lev, who's been my engineer since 2014.
Yeah.
He's been making my beats, making my engineering. So we grew together. So, I mean, the leverage I have now is that I can make music at the quality I put music out now. I think it's a high quality and at a high pace.
Yeah.
Because I can cut a song and put it out.
Yeah. I saw you've been talking about, too, like going harder on dropping like a song a week.
Yeah.
So is that inspired by Russ or any of those people that kind of did that similar structure?
For sure. I think, bro, I grew up on artists that make albums and bodies of work. So I love, like, you know, bro, you're the same way.
My favorite kind of stuff, which sucks because it's not.
It does. And it's also how you look at it. Like, you don't got to be like, oh, it's just not, you can't get away with doing that now. You probably could. And everything works different for everyone. But when I evaluated my listeners and myself and just like what's around me realistically, instead of what I want, I looked at what is. And I was like, okay, I know I can get you to listen to like one song a week. And then I can develop that trust where it's like, I chose like Wednesdays at 6 p.m. It's like,
Yeah.
I know that can be our time. Like I can develop that trust where it's like, bro, you know, two things for sure are gonna happen on Wednesday. Like the
Yeah.
sun's gonna come up and I'm gonna
Everything
drop a
in life
song.
could be falling apart. GZO's dropping on
Yeah,
Wednesday. at
and
6
that's
p.m.
what I wanted. That's
a
what I
good way
want
to
to
roll.
do. And bro, I have. It's also too that I'm in a great space creatively. Like I made a whole album, and I'm just in a great space, bro, where I can make music really fast, and I'm just in tune.
Yeah.
With doing those.
Tell me
things.
about that too, because I also saw you talking about, the album is done, but you were mentioning like, I'm not really in a place to drop a project yet. What, number one, what makes you feel like you're not in that place? And number two, what do you think it is that you're waiting for to feel like, okay, I am in that place?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for me, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way where it's like I'm making music for you. Like I'm making music for me. And that's what it is at the end of the day. If I want to drop an album, I'll drop an album. I've done it. Like I've dropped a project. But what my goal is right now is to build my audience, an organic audience. So I looked at the way I can do that is to, instead of making like that 10-song album, I could drop it and it'd be one event. And yeah, I could do content around it and build it out and, space it out. But I can also break that one event into 10 singular events. And I can make a lot of content around each song. And that's really what it is, bro. Like, I think people ingest music at a way different pace than they used to.
Yeah.
And I look at how I look at my favorite artist, and I'm like, man, like, I may listen to their album because I'm like a stan of some artists like Ye and Drake. Like, not a stan, but like I really love their music. So I look at how long I listen to theirs. I'm like, okay, these people are probably not that much of a fan of you as you are to them, and look how long you listen. So you got to be realistic. Like, how long is this song going to sit on your brain,
Right.
And how long is the album going to sit on your brain? Maybe it makes it out a week. Maybe it makes it out 2 weeks. Like, hopefully it makes it out the month, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just being realistic. I think a lot of people don't be realistic. They look at what they want. And, like, I do want to drop projects, but it has to, once the demand is there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And also, too, bro, like, you gotta, I'm getting better, too. Like, what I thought, I've made albums in the past that never dropped, and I was like, this is the dopest shit ever. And then a couple months go by, I'm like, bro, that was light compared to what I'm doing now. So I know the growth is happening fast.
Well, look at me. I know all about oversaturation. I put out 7 projects in 3 years.
That's insane.
And it's not even that. I mean, looking back, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them do hold up today, but like, I think that I just realized too at a certain point, like, I don't want to give people too much before they get to know me. You know what I mean? And you know me, like the type of music I make, it's like, it is very like, I love concept albums and like, I love the depth and so the audience that I'm honestly adhering to or trying to create for are those people that like those full-fledged projects where there's layers to it and everything. And it's like, if people don't know the layers, it's just not going to hit the same way, even if they like the song. It's like, there's so much that goes into it, so much like lore and story and all of that. And, but I'm interested to see how you and I like expand, because I'm actually doing the opposite strategy as you. I'm doing let me drop an album and let me like put everything into the album and like promote the hell out of the album until it becomes something. You know what I mean? I don't think either is right or wrong. I do, but as you talk about your strategy, I'm like, I probably should have done it that way.
There's no right
but
or
also,
wrong,
like,
bro.
That's why I'm interested to see, because I do think that's another thing worth touching on is like how it's almost like at the same time that there are so many, like, because there are so many ways that artists have become successful, it's like there really isn't a right way to do this. Yeah. And I think we talked about briefly, like over text, we were saying it's really like a mindset, and just sticking with it. So
it's all about consistency, however you do it. The details don't really matter as much as the consistency.
Yeah.
And, you, like, someone who stumbles on you is going to have, like, a gold mine. Of just so much music. Like, they're going to be able to go back and be like, yo, bro, imagine if you stumble on your favorite artist 10 years after they've been making music and you're able to go see what brought them to this point.
Yeah.
That's a dope thing. So a lot of people look at it as a bad thing, like, oh, you dropped so much music, haven't blown up yet or whatever. It's like, what's blowing up, first of all? And second of all, it's like, bro, I'm feeding these people that are going to be my supporters. Like, I'm feeding them. Like, I'm giving them a realistic breakdown. Like, I was making 7 albums, like, back in these years, you know?
Yeah, and now it's part of my story, so it's kind of cool in a way because, you know, I think when I tell people that, they're typically like, what? Like, what were you doing? Like, how much free time did you have on your hands, bro?
Well, you were cooking fast, bro. I feel like
I was making music every day, multiple songs a day.
Yeah.
So it was like...
That's hard to do, bro. People don't...
Yeah, I don't know how I had the time. I think I have the same amount of time, I think. It's just I had the energy back then in a way that I don't now, you know, because I guess I was younger, I was more on fire. Also, I hated my day job. Like, I hated it. So, like, I had like, when I got done with work, like, I was fired. The anger was like the fuel. Versus now, I have a pretty solid gig that I love and I'm grateful for. So I move a lot more like peacefully now. Like, oh, I'm just trying to live actually a little bit more present. I've actually had to teach myself, I think, to slow down because I'm a workaholic. Like, I will work myself into the ground, into burnout.
People can tell when you're a little bit overzealous. Not that you were, but I think people can. There's like a fine line that you have to have because you can tell whenever people are going to burn out. It's like, I think you need to have a good, consistent pace where you can maintain. That's the main thing. Can you can do that. People be like, man, I was in the studio like till 6 a.m. or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but can you maintain that? Like, are you healthy? Like,
and also
did you get enough sleep?
Yeah,
Like,
and also you didn't need to be.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't. Nobody was requiring you to go and do. All you're doing is damaging your body.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of people. I learned this even just with like the business that I'm involved in now. Like, you can. If I can get what you got done in 10 hours in 4 hours, and I go home and just like, you're not getting any points for being there for 10 hours. Like, good for you, but 100%. It's like we got the same amount of work done, but I was a lot more. I was just better with my time.
Yep. Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
For sure. You know,
bro.
I'm in that place now too, I think. You know. Heck yeah, man. Let's see what else we got. A couple more things before we wrap up.
Yeah, bro, this has been easy.
This has been awesome.
My favorite. This has been my favorite thing I've done.
Hell yeah, bro. That's my goal, you know. I want to give people the insights, you know.
It flows, bro.
So, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. What does legacy mean to you right now? What are you hoping that people take away when they hear your name or hear your music?
Sheesh, that's a deep question, bro. If I'm being honest, I haven't thought too deep into that. Like, just to be completely honest, what I do want to do is inspire people. And I think that I'll naturally do that because once people learn where I'm from and they're like, yo, like, I've never even heard of this place. And once they watch me. And also the fact that, like, I want to display ultimate authenticity. Like, I sometimes, like, really, whenever I meet people, I'm like, damn, like, I spend a lot of time alone because I'm like, damn, you're the realest nigga you know, bro. Like, for real, like, I meet people and I'm like, bro, I can, I feel better in my own presence because I'm like, bro, you're honest. And it took time to get that. Like, I don't think I was always like that. I'm still working on it. But just authenticity, realness, consistency, and inspiration.
Yeah, that's real. I think I relate to that too. I feel at times like you said, even like not in the mood to hang out and stuff with people sometimes where it's like, because you kind of know, you get to a certain point, you can kind of tell. You don't even have to know what people's intentions are. You just kind of see, you know, and how people respond to you, like when you're in the room and stuff. Like, it's so easy to, I think, pinpoint like energy vampires and like people that are just kind of like jumping on the wave or whatever. And
some
it's
of y'all
like,
phony.
Yeah, and it's either they're glazing too hard or they're like they don't pay any attention to you at all. And it's kind of like, yeah, I think I'm the same way. I think I struggle with like. I think I struggle with trusting people sometimes for that reason too, because it's like I only know my own intentions and like what I'm doing, and I really look at action like more. And I was gonna say I think that ties back to you because I've seen through, you don't really have to like say it because you're very like, you're just doing it, you know. It's always been evident to me. I think that's another reason I'm such a fan of you, man, genuinely, is because not just because of your music, which I love and I play all the time. I also just love watching you work and do what you do because it's genuinely like inspiring. I'm like, man, you know, and not in a way that makes, you know, people feel like inferior. It's really in a way like, here's this guy, like, just you're very humble as well. You know what I mean? So your dedication to your craft, you're obviously always trying to get better, but I also feel like there's such a human element to your music. It never feels try hard. It feels authentic, which is why you're talking about too. The last thing I want to touch on is your new song. So 97 Hatchback, you said you wrote, didn't really even write, but it was like punching in as you go. Yeah. So first question on that is just, is that the majority of your songs nowadays, is kind of punching in and kind of writing as you go versus like actually writing a verse? How has your writing process evolved between when you started versus now? And do you prefer it now versus the beginning?
I think this is important, bro. I was so stuck. I think it's kind of like with the like garage band thing we're talking about. Like sometimes you can get stuck in your ways. And like, bro, I grew up on like lyricists and all this shit. And as I got older, like when I was making music, it would take me so long. I would overthink myself into doing nothing, like trying to make a song. So once I really started doing the punch-in method, that's almost like one of the only ways I make music now. Now there are rare times where like I'll still get beats and like I'm listening and I have an idea and I'll write it down, but it's like very rare that I'm writing a whole song before I'm on the mic. Like I'm on the mic within like a couple bars because it's and it flows better that way. My music has gotten better and it's more me. Like I don't overthink. Like the whole idea now is to not think. Like I try not to overthink it and just let it come because you've experienced what you want to talk about and what's real. You've really experienced those things. You don't have to go make up whatever. Like you've experienced it, and it's gonna subconsciously you're gonna say it. You know what I mean? You're gonna think it and say it because it's just real. And that's, bro. It made me my production level times 10, like so fast.
Yeah, I think the art is already moving. It's like you just have to get out of the way of it. Yeah. You know?
My homie, Pretty Dim, my boy T, he likes to say he's just like a vessel. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because you're just in the middle and you're receiving and you're just like, it's flowing through you. And you're just kind of putting it into audio form. Yes. Where people can like experience it. But it's not really coming from you like it is, but it's almost flowing through you. Yeah. In a way. And that takes away the pressure because you're like, bro, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is let it flow through me. I don't have to do nothing crazy.
It already exists.
Yeah.
It's like you're a transfer of energy more than you are creating something.
Yes.
It's like energy's already there. My other question is, do you have what are your other not just creative outlets, but like just outlets in general? Like do you still play basketball today and stuff like that? Like what are your other outlets outside of music?
Yeah, I tried to go hoop the other. I hadn't played basketball in probably like the last like 9 years, bro. Mm-hmm. So I went to go play the other day. But being honest, I did feel that love again, for it. Like it's just something I always loved. Right now, bro, I'd say the gym is one of my main outlets. I used to play video games heavy, but I stopped that shit because, I was insane about it. Like I'd play too much. So I'd say the gym. And like I have plants that I like to like try to take care of, like plants and like keeping. It sounds so dumb, but like keeping my car, my house, all these things clean, and like taking the time like when I go grocery shopping, like I spend a lot of time like whenever I'm getting ready, like my hair products. It sounds so
self-care.
It's not it's not self-loathing. It's more just like I take that extra time, and that stuff fills my day, like making sure my space is clean. And, I like to, like I said, I like to go to the gym. I like to go out to eat, and I like shows too. Like I love like mob shows. Like I love YouTube. I love MMA. Like
Yeah.
I watch so much UFC, boxing. I love football, bro. Like
Yep.
whenever it's football season, Sundays are a wrap. Like me and my boy Lev are we're watching Red Zone all day.
Yeah.
So just like that, bro. The gym is the main thing that's getting me. Like if I don't do anything all day, but I go to the gym, I feel like it's like not totally waste.
Yeah.
So
Totally. Yeah. I need to get back in the gym, bro. I have these seasons this past year where it's been like I'll start getting into it and then yeah, I have that experience right where you're talking about where I'm like, why don't I go every day? Because of that dopamine is like real. You're actually creating real dopamine and real like you know. I think we live in a time too, man. It's like it's so easy to get like phone addicted and like just all these things, man, that will easily can tear apart those small things you're doing. I think are also like so important. Like the self-care stuff, the littlest things, like you're prioritizing you, which is good, So it's important.
Bro, I think the gym, everyone should like go to the gym. It's not even for men. It's not to be the buffest or women to not be the skinniest. It's like it creates consistency. That's all.
100%. Yeah.
You could blow off some steam, bro. Just get in there.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. This has been so dope.
Bro, this is fun.
Thank you so much for coming on.
I have a question. I have a question like for you before.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe just like a little bit of music stuff. So,
yeah.
You said you're planning on dropping like albums. How many? Because I know you're always ahead. Like how many? I guess like how far do you have it mapped out in the future as far as
that's
like
a dope question.
albums? Like and just like with your music, like do you already how far mapped out?
Yeah. Very mapped out. Like very mapped out. I would say I'm done with. So this album's dropping in August, and then I'm done. I guess conceptually, and most of the recording is done for my next 2 albums after that. And then, I had a lot of my prior projects. There's 2 of them that in particular that I adore that I think still hold up today that I'm considering re-releasing back on my main pages.
Which ones are they?
Which is Closet Studio Volume 2 and Kotag. I think both of those albums, I've been those are the albums that people have told me, like, you got to put that back out.
One of them has that song. It's Closet.
And Volume 3, I'm thinking about maybe putting out too, which Volume 3 has Death of Ego on it. Too,
oh, okay.
Think,
There's another song that you made, bro. Why can't I remember the name? You made content for it for a long time. I think it was on the 2. It was on number 2. It was damn. It's
trying to think of the track list.
Yeah, let me think, bro. Let me think real quick. I know it's.
Oh, Me Day. Was it Me Day?
Yeah, that's on 2.
That is on. I can't even remember my own albums. It's on Volume 3, actually, I think.
Dude, yeah, bro.
And the only reason, low-key, that I didn't say Volume 3 included, because honestly, sonically, that album definitely holds up. That's, like, in my opinion, probably the best work of hip-hop I've ever created. But there's so much profanity on it that I was conflicted about it for a long time. But lately, I'm in a place with profanity the same way that I feel we were talking about faith a little bit, where I'm kind of like, I'm just like, man, like, again, I created it during a time where I was over here, and it's not really any less like me than I am now. So I'm thinking about putting that one back out too, just for the sake of like, I think I go too far over the line. Just to briefly touch back on the faith conversation from my point of view is, I think I go a little bit over the line if I feel like whatever I'm creating is like pushing people away from God in some form or another. But honestly, even as much like profanity as is on that project, it's like I also look at it the other way around. Like you said, like how much like, that might be an obstacle to people that are already on the super religious side. But it might be the thing that connects somebody to my music over on the other side. Yeah. And they might be like
human. He went
exactly.
Every testimony. What testimony is like?
Dude, I wrote a bar about this actually on a song. Sorry to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
On this track, I don't know. Did you hear Gravestones? I dropped it on SoundCloud. It was like so thrown. Like I literally just recorded it on a like dynamic mic and just.
I probably did. I mean, I went through like your bro. We be listening to your SoundCloud.
Oh, thanks, man. And I purposely wrote a lyric on it recently where I literally said, fuck taking out all the curses to act like I'm better than you when it's truly me. is the line. I deliberately, and right before that, I say the F word like 3 times in a row. I say, fuck getting rich for immunity. Fuck taking out all the curses to act like I'm better than you when it's truly me. Fuck being fake, something like that. No one's speaking the truth to me. So I'm like going and I'm saying, and I purposely triple down on the F-bomb as a way of literally being like,
I'm no better. Like,
it's also like, it's like I'm human, and also like, now you're listening. Now you're like, what did he say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so in a way, it's also kind of a purposely like trying to get your attention. But there's been times that I've thrown cuss words just for the sake of the rhyme and for the sake of putting it in there. And that's where I feel a little more conflicted. But honestly, like I said, those songs are still so true to me, and they're, and a lot of them, I talk about God so much in my music that even when I cuss, it never outshines that I have faith underneath it. And I think that that's where I find a lot more peace now about that whole thing. I'm honestly like, I look at John Bellion as another example. I'm like, John Bellion's one of the people that like makes me feel closer to God listening to his music, and he cusses a ton on his songs. So, but everybody's on their own journey with that. And like, that's a whole other can of worms. But
I think just try to do right. Do what
I try to do what's authentic.
Yeah, do what sits right with you. I've never been like, to be honest, I'm like, as of right now, I'm probably I make secular music, and I'm going to be real about what I'm making. Like, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat anything at all. And that's where I'm at. But like I said, it's different for everyone. I do respect, like, I remember back in the day, I did a verse for you, and you were like, hey, like, I'm trying to make this be a certain thing. And I was like, I respect that. You know what I mean? And it also pushed me as an artist to be like, to not be cussing so much, and just like, but it was just a cool thing, I think.
And it's a seasons thing. I go through even now I go through like, so on a Tuesday I might make a track where I literally bleep out the cuss words that I used. Like when I sent you that one, what is the one I just sent you that was like inspired by Drake's 9 song? You know what I'm talking about?
I know
though,
exactly.
Right? Oh, Godsend.
Yeah, so, and I've been writing for that.
Yeah. And that one I sent you, I think I say a cuss word in it, and you can hear that I cut it out, like how Kanye did on Donda album, where it's like the word just gets removed.
Yeah.
And it was just because in that particular moment, I felt like, this isn't necessary. But I also wanted to say it, but I didn't, so I just bleeped it out.
Yeah, bro.
And then other times, like, I go through and I'm like, fuck that. Like, I literally don't care. Yeah. So the other purpose of that bar, when I say, fuck taking out all the curses to act like I'm better than you when it's truly me, is also a way of saying, like, I'm not going to go through and remove it for the sake of image management. I'm going to remove it because I feel convicted to remove it. You know what I mean? And so that's why some of my songs have it, some of my songs don't, because sometimes in that moment, I don't feel convicted at all. I actually felt God's presence when I was writing that line. Bro, it's weird. It's weird, bro.
That's
I'm like,
maturing in your faith,
why do I feel like
bro?
God is more with me as I'm being really authentic right here?
Yeah.
Writing this line, it's almost like he was like, go ahead and write that. Like,
yeah. And the cool thing is, bro,
cool for a minute.
It's maturing in your faith, for one. And the thing is, bro, you, like me, I don't feel like I owe anybody an explanation for anything.
Yeah.
Like, to be completely honest. And that's how I look at it. I'm inspired. Like, bro, forever I've been inspired by a lot of things that you wouldn't call like godly. That's just how I grew up and the things I was inspired by. Now, where I choose to take my life is like my choice, and take my music is my choice. And you don't have to explain. It's art, bro. You're not. Yeah. You don't have to explain. But as you do get a platform, you do have to be wary and just like be conscious of like the people you inspire. Because like you said, bro, you don't want to take people away from God.
Exactly.
That's what you don't want to do. But I try to, just be real, and hopefully people will get that.
That's where I'm glad too that I've found that sort of, like I was talking about, the me being down here thing, like, and everything up here. Like, I think that's why I'm glad I didn't blow up or whatever that even means anymore. But like sooner, I'm glad that God has taken his time with me in this journey. I think he's helped me see like how much, like, dude, you had such a big head. Like you like, let me. It's been a battle. My battle is that, like, I wanted so much control back when I started, and now it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you just please like help me figure out like something? Because I don't know anything anymore. Yeah. So
a lot of bro, I'll say this. I know we're about to wrap it up. I think a lot of people, bro, when I look at it, a lot of people will use God as an excuse to like not cross the T's and dot the I's that they can do themselves. And that's why I meant earlier where I said I learned the faith in myself, because, dude, I realize that I'm in a lot more control than, and there's a line when I say this. Understand, like, there's a line that you have to teeter, and you have to understand what I'm saying. But like, I'm in a lot more control than I think, and you're in control of how you react to things. You're in control of what you do on a daily basis. So you can't, like, there's a saying like prayer with works is useless, and prayer without works is useless. Works without prayer is useless. So a lot of things you want God to fill in the blanks that you're just not doing yourself, and God's not like some genie in a bottle where it's like, I want this. Like, nah, bro, you need to work for these things. And luck usually happens to the people that work the hardest.
100%.
Blessings happen to people that work the hardest, however you see it.
There's like a tagline saying that I've been saying a lot lately that applies to that thing, which is you have a part to play in your destiny.
Yes.
It is in your hands. Like, because God can hand you all the opportunities, but if you haven't done the again, if I hadn't put in the 5 years to be ready to do a show, I wouldn't be able to do a show. Even if somebody was like, hey, come perform this weekend, I'd be like, no, I don't have anything ready, And even lately, like, it's taken me a while to get back to a confident space, and I had to go first to do the open mics again, and I had to start from rock bottom again and be like, let me go to an open mic. And then I got blessed because I got lucky because one of the first mics I started going to was Love Mic, which I've been going to a ton, and they're like a whole community there, and so they've been like pushing my stuff and
I see that.
A lot of the other
You're
artists.
Like the main one there.
So, and there's so much talent there, dude, really, like, genuinely. And it's like, so it's one of those things. I also feel like that's also God's timing where he's like, yep, like, I'm going to put you, like, even as I was in this low place, I'm blessed that he put me in an environment where it was like people that were mental health forward and like focused on like giving people a space to like, it's okay to be human.
And now you're
like,
starting, even though you said like, I'm starting over again, kind of, but you're starting over with a foundation.
Yeah. Now I have 5 years, like I said, under my belt.
And you can see that when you're on stage, bro. Like, you can tell when people are just so, they're in their infant stages. You can tell. And then you can tell when people like do this. You could tell whenever they have that experience on stage.
Right.
That's one thing that sets a lot of artists apart. And, that's why I try to focus on my live shows a lot. Like, I try to make it known. Like, it's almost like a competitive thing. Like, if I'm doing shows, like, I want you to see the difference with me than these other guys.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Man, GZO. Thank you for coming on the show, dude.
Thank you for having me. How long was that?
I don't even know where we're at right now. Let me see.
It's like 7:45. Like a cool hour, huh?
Yeah, 53 minutes, bro.
Man, that flowed, bro. Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you for making it comfortable. And like,
that's my goal with this, man.
Yeah,
like,
I was telling you before, like, I felt uncomfortable doing other podcasts and things, but
I'll have you back again for sure.
This is so cool. Yeah,
as I do more of these, like, we'll do another one.
Yeah,
like,
I'm paying attention to every episode and shit.
Yeah, like I said, there's so much to cover with you, man. Like, I think just your history, your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom, there's so much to offer, and obviously your music as well. Lastly, let the people know where they can find you.
Ooh.
I know your socials is Modern Day Gustavo, right?
And modern, if you can't spell it,
Modern
MODERNDAY, Gustavo, no spaces.
Yeah.
That's everything.
And I'll link everything, GZO's music, his socials as well in the description for you guys. Please go support this man because he's a legend and has been a legend. So
thank you, bro. You
brother,
are too, man.
Appreciate you heavily, man. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Sir.